directed by Jonathan Uzubayo. I'm pretty sure this is his directorial debut. This movie stars Ke Huy Quan and Ariana DeBose. It also stars Daniel Wu and Sean Astin and Leo Lipton. The story here involves a real estate agent played by Ke Huy Quan. He's living his life peacefully, and then suddenly that peace is interrupted by certain shady figures from his past. Now these people from his past are looking for him because they're looking for somebody else from his past that has re-emerged and has put some kind of plan in jeopardy. Now he has to find this woman that he used to know, this person from his past, and he has to work with her. Daniel Wu is one of the shady figures from the past pursuing both of them, and thus we have an action movie and one of the movies of all time. I was somewhat mildly intrigued to see this. I saw the trailers. I like Ke Huy Quan. I really loved him in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Daniel Wu, my bro from Into the Badlands, I walked into this movie thinking, okay, at the very least it's gonna be fun. There are fun-ish elements about a movie like this. For starters, I do think some of the fight choreography and stunt work is pretty good. Nothing groundbreaking necessarily, but the fight scenes in this movie do have that Jackie Chan-esque quality to them. You see Jackie Chan movies where you see somebody that is pulling off a bunch of really crazy stunts in choreography within a scene. They're trying to like protect something from getting broken or smashed or whatever. There's that element to it. Just the sheer physicality of just using different items, different materials within the scene to make the scene work even more. Things are getting smashed, you're using kitchen utensils, you're using a whole bunch of different items that you wouldn't normally use. I thought that element was pretty cool. I thought the performances were fine-ish. Like Ke Huy Quan definitely is the guy that's probably trying the hardest. And Ariana DeBose, she's a good actress. She was okay in the movie, I suppose. I can't say anybody in the movie was bad necessarily. Jackie Chan type action scenes and acting and movie's not shot horribly, I suppose. If it sounds like I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel to try to find positive things about this movie, that's because it's, well, I am scraping the bottom of the barrel because I was not feeling very positive about this movie. In fact, this is one of the more disappointing entries in 2025 so far. It's not a good movie, man. Here's the thing, it's an action comedy, but it's also trying to masquerade itself as like this romance movie because, you know, Valentine's Day is coming up. You know what, that's fine. There's a lot of like romantic references and music and, you know, hearts and Valentine stuff. Like there's a lot of those type of references in a movie like this. The romance element of your movie, I feel like you have to nail the romance element, and if the romance element doesn't work, I don't know, it kind of feels like the movie doesn't work. Central romance of the movie between the two main characters, it just does not work. I think it's actually really underwritten. Like you don't really get a sense of why, I mean, you sort of get why he might love her, but you don't really buy it. You don't really believe that she loves him. In fact, for most of the movie, it just feels like she's kind of using him as a means to her own ends. I wouldn't have felt that way if they had spent more time cultivating and developing this relationship, but I would honestly say that's the problem with a lot of the relationships in this movie. Take Daniel Wu's character. He's like a crime lord who is also the brother of the main character. Sets up to be the antagonist of the movie, but you never care that much about his relationship with his brother. They don't spend a lot of time on it at all. You don't get invested. They don't write it in a way where you could believe where each person is coming from. They only interact one time in this movie, and it's at the end when they have to have a fight, and that's it. And I just feel like that leaves the entire script feeling undercooked. There's one relationship, one little side romance going on in this movie that I actually felt was handled pretty well. Right off the bat there, you have a script that feels underdeveloped, underwritten, undercooked. It's also a script that is painfully boring and painfully unfunny. A lot of the dialogue in here, yeah. Dialogue in this movie is very irritating because it's a lot of spoon-fed information that you don't need to know. There's a lot of useless voiceovers and monologues from characters where they're just kind of explaining information that we already know or could have figured out on our own. This is one of those scripts that has to hold your hand through everything. It has to over-explain everything. There is so much exposition dump in this movie, and a lot of it feels unnecessary. Especially for a movie that's clocking in at under an hour and a half, a lot of that shit just makes the movie feel a little bit longer. Explain to you how characters are feeling when it's obvious. Explain to you what's going on with the story when it's obvious. It just felt like the movie was treating me like I was stupid, and I was like, no, I'm not stupid. You're stupid for thinking I'm stupid. It's boring, it's unfunny, it's not well written, it's got a movie that has good fight scenes and it doesn't know how to balance the tone of what it wants to be. It's a movie that doesn't know what it wants to be because it's trying to be something different to everybody who watches this movie, and I just feel like that leads to an identity crisis and that leads to the movie not being that good. Love Hurts actually hurt to watch. It is a pretty disappointing movie. I'm gonna leave this one in Smallville. A few fun-ish fight scenes can't save this movie, unfortunately. I was rooting for everybody involved, but I don't know what the fuck happened here. All right, guys, those are my thoughts on Love Hurts. Have you seen it? Do you plan on seeing it this weekend? Let me know how interested in it you are in the comment section down below. Please like and subscribe to the Superfan Show. Stay tuned for more videos. And if you like what you see, tell me how you feel and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.